Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, from where you're joining us today. And thank you for making time to join us for today's workshop. My name is Nicole Mulako, and I'm the Program Officer in charge of Library and Consortia here at the Training Center in Communication, which is a capacity building trust based at the University of Nairobi, Kenya. Most of you are participants from previous workshops, and this is the first workshop of the year. So we're going to take you through dimensions, how to access and use it. In case you've forgotten or you've had challenges, this is a good time to share with the trainer any challenges you've experienced in accessing any of the three solutions. So we're going to take you through dimensions, we're going to show you Scholastic, and we're going to take you through Jenny AI. So feel free to ask any questions you have in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer to the best of our abilities. Just a bit of house rules. Please ensure that your videos and mics are off. Not unless you want to ask a question. Please raise your hand, and so that it's easy for us to identify who's asking the question. And yes, so any question you want to ask, raise your hand, or you can type it in the chat. So without much further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Nicholas Outa, who's our trainer and facilitator of the day, to take over today's session. Welcome, Dr. Nicholas.
Thank you, Kevina. For those who have not attended our sessions, I just want you to put a face to the voice, and then I'll switch off the video. I hope you put a face to that voice. Sometimes it's important that at least you have an idea of whoever is speaking. You at least have an idea of what they look like. Now that you know what I look like, I will start by saying Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you are just doing fine. I know the year has just begun, and there's quite a lot that is going on. I know, especially in the field of the areas of scientific writing, research. I know people are now writing their theses, writing their proposals, writing their concepts. Some have just registered for PhD or masters, and a lot is going on. This is also the time to take advantage of some of the tools that we want to talk about, so that if they will make your life easier, then that will be so good. As we always say at TCC, even if just one person leaves this training feeling like, I had a lot of issues around a specific problem, and part of it has been solved, we shall have done our work, because ours is to train, support, and empower scholars at different levels, at all levels, on issues around scientific writing and communication, including publishing. So part of the solutions we are going to provide to talk about today, I know that there are those who have attended this such kind of training before. There are those who are attending for the first time. There's no problem. We are here to keep reminding you of these things. If there are any new tools that come up, we will always be able to reach out to our scholars and tell them, hey, there's this new tool, we want to show you how to use it. Because the most important thing is to show you these solutions that can make your work easier as a researcher. That said, I am Dr. Nicholas Outa. My background is fisheries and aquaculture. That was my background, of course, is in fisheries and aquaculture. I did my research on aquaponics, which is a system that grows fish and vegetables in the same system, recirculating system. So basically, that's what I did, and I have a passion for climate smart food systems. Beside that, I am a research capacity advisor at TCC Africa for a long time now, almost a decade now. So we have been training, mentoring, supporting early career researchers and researchers in general on all aspects of scientific writing and communication. And today, I want to talk about three solutions actually. There's dimensions, there's Scholastic, and then there's Jenny AI. And I just want us to get to talk about the use of AI, or the role of AI in academia. What's your feeling? What do you think is the role of AI in academia? Is it a good thing to use, or what is your take on the use of AI in academia? You can type in the chat, but I would also want one or two people just to give us what they think. Yeah, this is a forum where there's no right or wrong answer. We are just expressing our opinions. So anybody can just unmute or just raise your hand, and then we'll give you a chance to say, what do you think about AI? Because we are going to talk a lot about those AI, and most of the solutions I'm going to talk about are AI-based solutions. So What do you think? Anybody? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good, good. So maybe one or two people can tell me what they think about the role of AI in academia. Just your opinion. It really does not have to be what other people will agree with, but we are entitled to our opinions, and it's just an opinion anyway. I don't want to call people's names, so that's why I want people to just volunteer. And basically, that's how we always carry out these trainings. We always want it to be as participatory as possible. There's no need of me sitting on this end lecturing you on some of these things when you can always. Yes, Daniel Dumo.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel. I think
Yes.
AI, as long as it's used in the right way, really helps in terms of making work efficient in research. If you are to use it to make your work more easier, it's not AI doing your work, but now using it to make your work more efficient. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think only I'd say the only downside is when now you use AI to do your own research instead of it being an assistant tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, Baraka.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. To me, I think AI can help researchers to edit information and not to develop information. You cannot expect AI to give you the content, but you can prepare your content and AI can help you to edit the content to appear in a better way.
Thank you. So I think if I pick correctly from both of you are saying there's no problem using AI, but you can only the best thing is to use AI as an assistant. It's not that you can replace your responsibility as a researcher or as a scholar. You cannot just say, okay, I'm going to delegate that responsibility to AI. So you can use AI, of course, to refine your ideas or even to brainstorm. But then at the end of the day, it's up to you to use AI to think through and make this your own. The other thing, before I get into these solutions, the other thing that so many people have been asking me, okay, Nicholas, if I generate content using AI, is there another tool that I can use to humanize such kind of content? Has anybody ever been asked that question? Anyone ever asked you whether they can humanize? That is what the word that is used. If they can humanize AI content and make it appear like it has been written out of just by a human being. What do you think about that? Can you use a tool to humanize AI generated content? I would really want to also pick your brains on this. Hello? Anybody wants to give their opinion? As I said again, these are opinions. There's nothing right or wrong. Has someone ever asked you whether they can use another AI tool to humanize AI generated content? And what was your response to that? Or what do you think about that? Hello? Again, as I say, nothing right or wrong. We are just expressing our opinions, and we are all entitled to our opinions, and this is a safe space.
Hello.
Yes, Shitondo.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I've encountered a number of people asking me about how to humanize. I didn't know about humanizers. I learned about them, I think, from last year. That's when I learned about them, including Glamoury and I've forgotten the other ones. So, yeah, they do that.
Yes. Yeah, people ask me that quite a bit, and because I train people on some of these things, and some of them are writing tools that generate content using AI. My sincere answer is that if you generate content using AI, the only way to humanize it is to read that content by yourself and try to make it as humanly, how do you say, try to make it look as human as possible just by reading it. Don't go to another tool. This is what happens. Turnitin scans your content for AI generation. So it scans whether your content has been generated using an AI tool. And what it does, it scans for AI1 and AI2. So AI1 is the original, is the tool that you use to generate. So let's say you generated your content from ChatGPT, then you took it to a different tool to say, okay, I've generated this, now I'm trying to humanize it. The other one is also just a language programming tool. It's just a language model, just like the one that generated that content. So AI, ChatGPT will, not ChatGPT, but Turnitin will look through the document and say, okay, maybe this does not look like it was generated using AI content. So AI1 passed, but when you go to AI2, they will read through the language because they have these algorithms. They are also very smart. They know how then this language flows. So they will know that maybe this was not generated using AI, but then there's AI2. So this tool was, there's a tool that was used to try to interfere with the AI-generated content that was not detected when we were scanning for AI1. So my sincere advice is, if you generate content using AI, imagine you are supposed to sit down and type 10 pages. AI has typed for you 10 pages in 3 minutes or in 4 minutes, or let's say in 10 minutes. I want you to spend the next like 1 hour or 2, because if that is the time you wanted to use to type the 10 pages, spend that time now reading through that content word by word. And again, as I say, the use of AI depends on whether it's good or wrong, it's right or wrong. That depends on you. It depends on what your university or your organization allows or what they don't allow. It depends on you as a person. How can you use AI ethically? I have worked with scholars from universities in places I won't talk about, who have always told me that in their universities, they're allowed to use AI to generate content. They are allowed to use AI to write. They are allowed to use AI to do anything else, as long as they admit and declare that I used AI to this extent. This is the tool that I used, and this was the prompt. Their universities would always allow them, so that they see if the prompt was to generate everything for you, or if the prompt was just to assist you brainstorm or assist you, collect information and try to visualize. So there are universities that are already allowing their scholars to use AI tools, and some are not. And these tools are becoming smarter and smarter. And I think the only best thing we can do, if you are here and you are an instructor or a lecturer or a researcher who is also training students, rather than, instead of telling them not to use, because they will definitely use these tools. And sometimes they know even smarter tools than the ones you're telling them not to use. So I think the thing is telling them which tools to use for what purposes and how then they can use them ethically. That is the only thing. We can't tell them never to use them. They will, obviously. They will go ahead and use these tools. It's like when this scientific calculators are being introduced into our high schools in Kenya, for example. People had a lot of issues with them. People kept saying, oh, no, it will make students lazy because now they have calculators. They should go back to the manual logbooks that we used during our time. But then even now, even with the scientific calculator, some are becoming smarter and smarter. But students are not everyone is still getting A's in maths, because you could have a very good tool. But if you don't know how to use it, then it's just useless. If you have a very smart calculator, but you don't know what numbers to punch into that smart calculator, it's not going to help you. So it's the same thing with AI tools. So even if they are there, however smart they are, we still need to know how to use them, because if we don't, then they will be there, but then they will be useless to us. So that is my few coins on the use of AI in academia. Just check what your university allows or what your institution allows. If it does not allow, then just stick to what the university allows. I don't want you to go back to the university and tell them, no, we were told during our training by TCC Africa that we have to use AI tools in writing. What are you telling? I'm going, no, we have not said that. Ours is to bring your attention to those tools that can make your work easier. And then you stick to the rules of your university or you stick to the rules of your institution. The most important thing is that you know that there are tools out there. So if you're allowed to use them, yes. If not, then that's still fine. I will start by demonstrating the first platform that is called Dimensions AI. And Dimensions AI is a platform, as I will show you, it's a platform that collects papers. So it's a database, or it's a directory that has papers, and it's an indexing database where papers are. But then through there, you can also get access to grant information, get access to grant information, data sets, clinical trials, and policy documents, all under one roof. And it has a very nice integration with another AI tool that can now help you write very nicely without the worry of citation hallucination, which is a problem with so many AI tools, that they just hallucinate. They give you citations that you cannot trace back to. You try clicking on that link, and then you realize you are told the page you cannot access that page, or it goes to a different paper that is not even talking about the subject matter, and so you don't know what to do with it. So the other two tools are not going to take a long time, so I'll spend a little bit of some time on Dimensions because there are quite a bit of interesting things I want to show you as a researcher, because they have also developed some new features that would really be interesting to you as a researcher, even as you decide whether to use AI or not, depending on what it is that is interesting to you. So I will start by sharing my screen, and I will show you how to get to Dimensions. So just a minute here. Okay, I will share my screen now. So there are two ways through which you can get access to Dimensions. So the first one is, if you are in a university where you can access Research for Life, go and ask your university or whoever is managing knowledge. So either to your library, go and ask your librarian, or talk to whoever is managing knowledge in your university or your institution to help you gain access to Research for Life. So then they will give you the login credentials for Research for Life. If you access Dimensions through Research for Life, then you are going to access more features than if you just access Dimensions directly through Google. But that does not mean that if you access Dimensions directly through Google, because there are some people who will say, I've gone to the librarian, they've told me that my university or my institution has not subscribed to Dimensions AI, to Research for Life, so then it means I cannot access Dimensions. So the first thing I want to show you is how to access Dimensions if your university has not subscribed to Research for Life. So pay attention. This one is how then you can access Dimensions if your university or your institution has not subscribed to Research for Life. So just go to Google, type Dimensions AI, and pick this first option. So once you pick that first option, it will take you directly to the Dimensions landing page. I don't know why it's taking a bit long. So once it takes you to the landing page, then from there I will show you how then you can move from there. Obviously, it will ask you to register and create an account, just a free account. So you can always go there and create a free account, and then with that free account, so like in my case now, I already have an account, so I'll just go and log in. So this is the landing page that you will land here. Then you either create an account or just click on login, and then you will be allowed to create a free account. So I don't know why it's taking a bit long to load, but then you will just create an account. Yeah, so like in my case, I already have an account, so I'll just come here and log in. So when you create an account and log in, this is what you will see. So you will see publications, data sets. These ones you can access even if you access Dimensions directly without going through Research for Life. So, but then you cannot see grant information, you cannot access patents, you cannot access clinical trials, and you cannot access policy documents. And also on the filter side, you notice we only have publication year, researcher, research category, publication type, source title, journal list, and open access. We don't have access to other filters that I will show you that you can, utilize if you access dimensions through Research for Life. So here I'm just showing you that you still can access dimensions through Research for Life, directly on Google, even if you don't access it through Research for Life. And you see, you can also there are other features that I'm going to show you, and even the integration with the tool that I will show you as well. That still you can also do even if you don't access dimensions on the other side. So that is, I just wanted to show you this because some people come back to ask, okay, my university has told me they don't access Research for Life. Does that mean then that I cannot access dimensions? So you can access dimensions directly through Google. Now, I want to now show you how you can access dimensions through Research for Life. So you just go and type Research for Life, and then you come and pick this first option over here. So this is I'm assuming that you've gone to your librarian and they have given you, because each institution has their own unique login details. So your university or your organization will give you the login credentials for that specific institution you are dealing with. So with those, you will come and log in here. And once you log in, then you will be able to. So once you log into Research for Life, then you just come and click on content. So log into Research for Life using the credentials that you will be given from your university. After logging in, click on content, then go to databases. Then the databases are arranged alphabetically. So after clicking on content, you go to databases, then just scroll down, and then you just come to dimensions. There are several databases, but we are really just focusing on dimensions as a database. So you want to see, I want rather to show you the kind of resources now you can access if you access dimensions through Research for Life. The other one was if you just access it directly through Google. Here, I'm showing you how then you can utilize dimensions if you access it through Research for Life. So if you access it through Research for Life, you see now we have all this. We have the publications, data sets, grants, patents, clinical trials, and policy documents. So you can access all this and then look at the filters here. We have added the filter on research organization and also country or territory and also funder. So it means that in case you want to browse, maybe you are trying to look for papers, but then you want papers from a specific research organization, or you want papers from a specific country, you can easily now do that, or even if you know a specific researcher and you want their papers. Now, let's look at the filters first. Of course, we have 162 million papers here, publications. Some of them are monographs, some of them are preprints. We'll look at that. But then I'm only going to demonstrate for publications and grants, because I think for researchers, these are the most important ones. Of course, clinical trials, policy documents, depending on your field, could also be interesting, including even data sets. But for the sake of this conversation, I'm only going to demonstrate to you how then you can use Dimensions AI to work around publications or papers to get, and also around grants. Grants are projects. Okay, so let's start with the filter. So you can filter your publications by publication year. So you can decide, okay, I only want papers that were published between 2020 to 2026, for example. So you just click on the I don't know whether it's a square on just in front of the year, and just click add to search, and then it will be added to your search. And it means now we have started filtering. So we are from 169 million, now we are down to 46 million papers that were published between 2020 and 2026. So that is the first filter we have used. The second filter, and sometimes I try to escape these others first, and then I go straight to country. So let's filter by country. Which country is represented here, so that we can demonstrate? Just tell us your country, and I will use your country as an example to filter here. Which country? Which country? Which country? I don't want to use Kenya.
Uganda.
Uganda. Uganda is the pearl of Africa, right?
Yes.
Good. Okay, let's. I will come to Zambia, no problem. Yeah, we are still going to filter.
Oh, yeah.
So we have 53 1,000 papers that are relevant to the country of Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. And also we have several data sets, we have several grant information, several patents, several clinical trials, and several policy documents coming from Uganda. This does not mean that this is all that is available about Uganda in these categories all over the internet. This is just what is available here. And there's the rigorous process that goes into what gets included here, because we will look at the journals where they get the papers from, and you will see that it's not just, they don't just pick papers from everywhere else. So you see the 53, almost 54,000 papers from Uganda are those papers that have been published in top tier journals, not just any, and even the patents and clinical trials. So these are, then now, we started with the publication here. I decided to skip all this. Now, after we have filtered by country, I always want to filter by country first before I show the others, because then once I filter by country, it means that if I click on research organizations, it's going to arrange for me the research organizations in that country, depending on their influence. So we have Makerere, the 25,000, Mbarara University, Uganda Virus Research Institute, London School of Medicine. I know you'll ask me why London, Kenya. London School of Medicine is there, and I even have together with Ugandan scholars. They are published quite a bit about certain aspects of Uganda that, it appears under Uganda, because they're published. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether it's my internet, so I'll just share again so that we are back to. Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Oh, they are saying something went wrong. I don't know what. Now, the first filter, I said I filtered by country. So we have Uganda, meaning that now if I click on research organization, it's going to arrange for me the research organizations in Uganda, depending on their influence. But then I can also click on researcher, and it's going to arrange for me Ugandan researchers based on their influence. I don't know why it's not really, I don't know what is happening here. But then it's supposed to, just the way it arranged these ones, it's supposed also to, someone is not muted. Elvis, please. So, thank you. So, it's supposed to, okay, let me just try to reload this page. Because ideally, after filtering by country, it's supposed to arrange for me the research institutions in order of their influence. It's also supposed to arrange for me researchers here. So if I click on researcher, it should just list for me. So you see here, I have Moses R. Kamia from Makerere University is top there with Janet A. Sele. I don't know, those names are difficult. But then this just I'm showing you that it can now also show you. So if you want papers from a specific researcher, you just click on their names and then you add to search, and then only their papers will come. In this case, for example, if you only want papers from Makerere, then you just click here, and then you will click on this in front of Makerere, and then you click add to search. Then only papers from Makerere will be shown. So the other filters is, our filter is still Uganda. So we want to see who is funding research in Uganda. Then we have National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, then Medical Research Council. We have, that one is difficult, Wellcome Trust Fund, Gates Foundation, European Commission, all this. So if you also want to see who is funding research in Uganda or in whichever country you are looking at, then you can also filter by funder. And then you can also filter if you are doing your search. So let's say you are searching for something and you want to search in a specific field of research so that you don't have a lot of problems. So let's say we are looking for papers. In which field of research are we looking at? Anybody can tell us, because we are going to just click on browse, and then it's going to bring all the list of different fields of research, and then you can now choose which field of research is interesting to you, so that it brings papers closer before you even put in keywords. Which field of research are we looking at here? Anybody?
Antimicrobial resistance.
Antimicrobial resistance is generally under which? So this is biological
Microbiology.
science. Microbiology. So yeah, when we click on microbiology, then we see that it's now going to bring us to microbiology, and we have 1,366 papers on microbiology from Uganda. Now, you can go down here and still, there are several filters you can play around with. You can even filter by sustainable development goals. You can filter by publication type. So maybe you only want research articles, or you want preprints, or you want book chapters or conference proceedings. You can filter the way you want. You can filter even by source title. So if you want papers from a specific journal, you see these are very serious journals where papers are gotten from. So they don't just pick journal papers from everywhere else. That's why you can see that the number, like for Uganda, you can't tell me that there are only 53,000 papers from Uganda, but then they are looking at the level of robustness. So then you can also, as I said, you can filter by source title. You can also filter by journal list. So they have journal lists like AJOL, that is African Journals Online, DOAJ, all these are journal lists where they also publish the papers from, but you can also filter by open access. So I've given you several filters. So as you're working through this, then it's up to you to choose which filter to use. Now, we have filtered by Uganda. We have also filtered microbiology. Then what are the keywords? Let's say we are looking for a paper because there's something I want to demonstrate. What keywords, what aspect of microbiology are we looking at? Hello, microbiologists in the room. I'm not a microbiologist, so I'm waiting for the microbiologist to tell me what keywords do we put there so that we can get a paper that is closer to what they want. Hello?
Antimicrobial resistance.
Antimicrobial resistance. Let's see what we have. So antimicrobial resistance, we have like 48 papers. So then let's go and check any paper that we think is nice to us. So let's say I want a paper that has been cited several times, because this one is microbial sensitivity profile in Kamuli district in Uganda. This one is also Uganda. Okay, seeing quite a number of good papers here. So if we want to expand our view so that we see beyond Uganda, then what we can do, even after leaving all these ones, we can just remove Uganda from the filter so that we look at antimicrobial resistance, maybe at a larger scale. Then you see now we have over 2,000 papers. So let's say I want a paper that has been cited several times because there's something I want to demonstrate using that. So let's say we have read through. I always tell people, look for the one that is closest to what you want, very close, because then I will show you what that will do for you. So let's say that is the paper we have seen that is very close to whatever we are looking for. So we want to look further into that paper and see whether it makes sense or it is relevant. So the first thing is, when you come here, you get the title of the paper, of course, as it is. But then if you click on this arrow will take you to, the pop-out arrow will take you to the website where this paper, or the journal where this paper is, so that you can download and read if you want. Then, of course, the other things. Now, the first thing I want to draw to your attention, and this is the good thing with dimensions, is it starts by giving you a summary, a high-level summary of this paper. And it's called TL, semicolon DR. This stands for too long, didn't read. But then it gives you a general summary so that you make a decision whether this is a paper you want to download and read further, or if it's not interesting. So here it says the research maps antimicrobial resistance prevalence in food animals across low and middle income countries, identifying hotspots in China, India, Brazil, Chile, and parts of Africa and Central Asia. The study reveals that tetracycline has the highest resistance rates while cefotaxime, okay, you are the microbiologist in this room. It's not me. So those words are the ones who are supposed to read them. Anyway, has the lowest and predicts future resistance trends, emphasizing the need for targeted AMR surveillance in these regions. Now, you already have a summary. You already have an idea of what that paper is talking about, including the key results. So you can make a decision just based on dimensions alone. You can make a decision whether, okay, I think, yeah, this sounds like a good paper. Let me go ahead and read it further, and I will show you another tool that can help you now extract information. Now, the other thing that it does for you, apart from that, it goes ahead also now to give you key highlights. And it does this for all the papers. Every paper that you will click, you will get those summaries. So it goes ahead now to give you like 4 key highlights from this paper that you are interested in. You see? So it gives by giving you at least a bit of what is the background, then what the study utilized, then the hotspots, then it goes ahead to give you certain percentages. So from here alone, you can already form a story. If you want to cite this paper, even if you don't have the time to read into too much detail, you have an idea of what is in that paper. So I think this is one thing I like a lot, and you can easily always just copy it from here. I like this a lot because then from here I can get several summaries, and then from there I can draft a very good story about microbial resistance just based on this study said this, this study said that, this study said that, this study found this, these are the gaps that they identified, all that. Because just from this summary alone, I have, the leverage to already, if I'm citing this paper, then I have information. Then it also goes ahead now to give you top keywords, because maybe you are reading a paper, but then you want to see, does it contain certain keywords that are interesting to what I'm studying? So maybe you are just talking about penicillins, and you are worried about, does this paper really talk about penicillin in any way? So those top keywords are always important if you want to make a decision, because maybe you are not just interested in the general aspects of antimicrobial resistance, but you are interested in a specific microbe, or you are interested in a specific antimicrobial substance, for example. So maybe you are just interested in knowing how, issues around this E. coli, and that is what you are interested in, or you are interested in how tetracycline or penicillins or all these others, how people developed, or what is the trend of antimicrobial resistance regarding these specific substances. So those top keywords will always guide you so that you know, okay, this paper does not really focus a lot on penicillins. So if it's talking about antimicrobial resistance, but really it's not talking about penicillins, because I've not seen it as a top keyword. So it means that maybe I need to look for other papers, because my study really is focusing on penicillins, but this one is not talking anything about penicillins. So, gives you an idea of where you need to point. So I think the most important things here, take-home message here, is that you have the general summary, the high-level summary. Then you have the 4 key highlights that is now a bit more detailed, including some data. And then you can now also see the top keywords. Now, if you look toward the right, where my cursor right now is, this is Altimetric, and it's really becoming a thing in research right now. This is just how people have interacted with your work, maybe sometimes even outside academia. So this paper has been highlighted twice in the news. It has been tweeted 34 times, and on Mendeley it has been read 130 times, or it has been downloaded 130 times. So these are also important, so that it also gives you an idea about these matrices. Now, is anybody seeing this padlock here? And do you know what it is? Anybody can just tell me if they know what this padlock is. If you don't know, then I will not tell you. Anyway, I'm coming back to that padlock and why you need to have it as a browser extension. Now, this is the paper. I said you can click on this arrow. The pop-out arrow will take you to the website or the journal where this paper is published. You can download, read it further. Down here, I've shown you the summaries here, the key highlights, and the top keywords that can inform you. Then, of course, the rest is just the same. You have the abstract, then those other things. Now, the other thing I want to show you here is that you will find now links to all the papers that were cited in this paper. So this paper cited 33 other papers. So why was I telling you to get a paper that is as close to what you are working on as possible? Because you will find they have cited papers that are also very close. So you don't have to go and keep doing you don't have to go and do search all the time, search after search. Once you do a very good search, then one very good paper will link you to, see, now it is going to link you to all these other papers. So from here, you can also just, then apart from just the papers that this paper cited, you are also linked to the papers that have cited this paper. I think that is very important, because these are papers that have been published later than, they were published after this paper because they cited this paper. So you can imagine other people, you see, like all these, and there are 57. That paper that we are reading right now has been cited by other 57 by 57 other papers. So it means that those other papers have come up with a bit more information, because then they were done later than this paper we are reading, and that's why they cited this paper. So it means that Dimensions is now also linking you to other papers that have, cited this work that you are reading. So you don't have to go back and forth doing search, coming back, doing search. From here, and even you will only just click one of these papers, then it will also link you to other good papers, just like that. So that snowballing effect is very nice for me on Dimensions. Now, the other thing, I just wanted to tell you about this. Maybe you know about it, maybe you don't, but then you need to add this as a browser extension. It's called Unpaywall. So whichever browser you are using, add Unpaywall as a browser extension, because what Unpaywall does is, Unpaywall goes through the internet and tries to find where a paper can be downloaded for free. So you could be going to the website of a paper, and then you find it is hidden behind a paywall. But maybe someone downloaded that paper and uploaded it on a different platform that you don't know. But then what Unpaywall does, it scans through the internet and tell you that, okay, I've found where this paper can be downloaded for free, so just follow me. So you don't need to worry about the link of that paper. If you've opened a paper like the one we have opened right now, if you see that this padlock is open, or if it's green, it means that there's somewhere this paper we can download where it is open access. So you don't need to worry. Just click on this padlock. It will take you directly to the download file, and then you just download the file and read and take it to your reference manager and use it there. So that is what I like a lot with this. So just add it as an extension browser. It's a free extension browser. So every time you're on the internet and you're trying to look for papers, it will always link you to papers. I want to go back. That is about publications. You will go and just check around and see how best you can play around with it. There's no problem. And these are things you can keep checking around. These platforms, if you cannot rely on just maybe 20 or 30 minutes of demonstration and say that you know it. I keep using it all the time and training on it, and that's why I get to know these other features. So I would encourage you very strongly to keep using it. The other thing is, now I want to show you about grants. I say publications have shown you about grants. Grants are actually, if you want to know which projects are currently ongoing in my field or in my country or in which specific university, you just click under grants, and then you can come here now and also filter. So grants also have their own filters. But then I want to filter by country, so that we want to see which projects are currently running in a specific country. I think Zambia is Uganda is the Pearl of Africa. Zambia is?
Yes.
How do we refer to Zambia? What is the nickname? Okay. We will find out. Even if you don't want to tell us, we will find out. So we just click on that, and then we just add to search, and then we are going to get grants. So we are looking at projects that are currently running in Zambia. So we have just used one filter. We have only filtered by Zambia. So it means that there are, of course, there are some that have ended, some are ongoing, but there's no problem. But right now, we are looking at 588 grant information about Zambia. So then we can now come here and filter by year, for example. So let's say we only want projects that will be active between 2026 onwards, because those are the ones that will be important to us. Or maybe we don't want the ones that have ended, or we could even look at the ones that have ended, so that we can learn from them. So we have 75 projects that will be running in Zambia between those years. But then we can also go ahead and say we want to see which research organizations are going to be running this project. So University of Zambia will be running 26 projects. University of Cape Town is appearing there, not because it's in Zambia, but because there are so many scholars that are working with those from the University of Cape Town that, or the collaborations are, there's a lot of collaboration between Zambian institutions and the University of Cape Town. Then we want to see who is funding research in Zambia. European Commission is funding research in Zambia, Gates Foundation, and all these others are funding research in Zambia. Now, we can also go and check by research category. So maybe you are interested in projects that are in a specific field of research. So let's say you are interested in projects that are in the area of public health. So you just click on public health. And then we now want to see how many projects are in the field of public health that will be running in Zambia between 2026 to 2031. We have 9 projects. So they are all here. So the good thing with this is also when you click on a specific project, let's say maybe this is the one that is interesting to you. When you click on that, then it also shows you which organizations are partnering here. So we have Stellenbosch University of South Africa, we have University of Zambia, and then we have Copperbelt University Zambia. So there are 2 universities in Zambia that are collaborating in this project. Now, then it also, just the same way, it goes ahead to give you the summary of the project, the key highlights about this project, and the top keywords about this project. So you can just know about it, so that if you want to reach out to these people, because now already you know which universities are partnering, and if you're interested in this or output that they will come up with, then you can easily now reach out with information, telling them, okay, I saw this project you are doing, it's about this and that, it will be running between this year and this year. So when you approach them, you have an idea of what you are talking about. Then it also links you to similar grants. So there are several other similar grants that could be elsewhere, so it could be of interest to you, so you can easily reach out. So that is how then you can use the grant feature in, and then also it's the same for patents, it's the same for clinical trials and all these other things. So mine is just to encourage you to try out these platforms. You will get to understand them with time. Just keep working with them. If you don't, then it gets to a point where you have forgotten certain features, maybe those that could be very important to you. Now, I will now go to AI because I think that was when I started talking about AI. Now, one of the things everybody keeps saying about ChatGPT, because I know that is the AI tool that so many people are using, is that ChatGPT does not give you authentic citations. I don't know whether anyone has ever experienced that. So ChatGPT sometimes gives you citations, and then when you trace back or you try to track those citations, you realize, hey, these citations are not anywhere. I cannot track them, or they end to some dead end somewhere. So what happens in this case is Dimensions has now brought a feature that now links Dimensions to ChatGPT, so that whenever it is writing, ChatGPT will now be writing any scholarly documents or scholarly information. It will be drawing its citations from Dimensions, so that you can click and link back and confirm whether indeed that is a legit paper and it is talking about what ChatGPT is talking about or not. So how do you link it? See this on the left where we were looking at the filters. Just beyond the filters, to the right, to the extreme left, you click on there are several arrows there. There are several dots there. You just hover. This is available even for those who are going to access it directly through just Google. So you just hover your cursor over here, and then you come to these 3 dots here. When you click on those 3 dots, now you have what we call Dimensions Research GPT. When you click on Dimensions Research GPT, what it will do, it will open a window on ChatGPT, but this is a window that is only restricted to Dimensions. So it means that this window is only speaking to Dimensions and nowhere else. Okay, so you see now I have a window here, and that window is a window on Dimensions Research GPT. It means that if I tell it to write something, it's only going to write, and it's only going to get citations from Dimensions and nowhere else. So I can track back those citations back to Dimensions and just confirm that indeed. So let's say we are now writing introduction. on antimicrobial resistance in Africa. Yes, so we are going to give it this, and then whatever I'm trying to show you here is that we can always track all those citations back to dimensions. That is what I wanted to show you, because then I know most of us use these tools, but then mhm. Now you see now what is writing, and then it's going to give us a citation list. Now we have the citation list of all that has been cited up there. There's something I want to show you here. Now, let's say, for example, it has made a statement here that this research returned 8 top. Okay, so I think they are talking about 8. Yes, it has. Okay, periodic care. So this one is talking about resistance levels in pediatric care with limited. You see, now let's talk about this, because their citation is mostly talking about, let's say this, like this citation is mostly talking about pediatric care. That is the most important thing, because there's this antimicrobial resistance is in so many places. But then let's see whether this Williams 2017 is talking about something to do with antimicrobial resistance in pediatric care. Let's just click on it, because when we click, it's going to take us back to dimensions. We want to see whether that paper is real. So you see, it's antimicrobial resistance among children in sub-Saharan Africa. And then we now go down here and see this summary. Does this summary, is it consistent with what it has purported to be saying on the other side? So, and then also the key highlights. So I just wanted to show you that I think my goal here was just to show you that when you link your ChatGPT to research to dimensions, then you can always this one is talking about vaccination emerges as an important. So let's see if this one is talking about vaccination and how it is linked to AMR. Let's see what that paper is talking about. This paper is talking about vaccines, yes, as an antibiotic resistance control. You see, now it means that this paper is talking about whatever the citation, the statement it is citing is correct, and it is coming from this specific paper. So you see, now you don't have the worries that ChatGPT is going to hallucinate and give me citations that I cannot trace back. Let's even do the last one, just for the sake. Let's do the last one. Animal health is documented, including resistance linked to mastitis protocol. So let's look at about if this paper is talking about dairy or something about animal health, and it is in South Africa. Let's just go back and check. Okay, let's see what that paper is talking about. That paper is talking about immunology in domestic animal species. in South Africa. You see, now it's talking about dairy farms, so you really now are sure that this paper is whatever the citations I'm getting are real and I can trace them. And the reason I was telling it to give me citations in APA format always gives you a link at the end. So with this link, you can easily just go to this paper. So let's click on those links and then we open the link. And then you see that it's going to take you to, so that at least you can confirm whether these citations are ready to, you see, like this one. Social, climate, you see, like this one. So this is the reason why I'm telling you that this one is a powerful tool. And you see now this is green, so it means you can easily download this. So those are the several things I wanted to show you on dimensions, and I hope it's going to make your work slightly easier. We are going to have a little bit of some time at the end just to discuss a few things. So let me go to the next tool, because these two next ones are not really difficult to work with. So they are the first one that I want to talk about is called Scholastic. I want to talk about Scholastic because sometimes after downloading papers, you want to summarize them. You don't have maybe the luxury of time to read. Let's say you want to read 50 papers, and so that you can write a paper, or you are writing your paper, but then you want to do a lot of literature search and read these papers, try to summarize, and it's going to be a very difficult thing. So for you, the most important thing that you can do is you can always come to Scholastic. There is the premium version that I'm not going to talk about, because then you can decide it's the premium version. You have to pay like $4.99, around $5 per month, to have unlimited access to the number of papers you can summarize. But I want you to go and try, before you commit, before you pay anything, I want you to go and try this article summarizer. Just once you click on Scholastic, pick this article summarizer, because the article summarizer is a free one that allows you to summarize 3 papers for free per day. I just want us to summarize just 1 paper at random. I don't know where I'm going to put that paper from, but I just want to click here. Just click on try for free. Go to article summarizer, click try for free, and then you can always upload a paper. I'm going to just pick 1 paper at random from my computer here. Let me see if I have a paper here. I don't know whether this is a paper or not. Okay, I'm just looking for a paper that I can upload. Okay, I'll just upload. I don't know what it is, but I'll just upload a paper at random. So just pick whatever paper that you have downloaded from your computer, or just pick it from your computer and upload it onto onto Scholastic, and see what Scholastic is doing. So it is now extracting information, then it compresses them, then it translates jargon into plain language, and then see, walking the talk on this is value or circular information or whatever. It's a title, a different title. Now, what Scholastic is going to do for you, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to give you the title. Of course, this is the entire title. Then all the other details are also tucked away so that they don't interfere with your reading. They are there, but mostly during the summary, they are tucked away. Then it starts by giving you a snapshot of the paper. Okay, so it gives you a snapshot of what the paper is talking about. Then it goes ahead now to give you 5 key findings from this paper that are, so it's just the same way the other side, but here it's a bit more detailed. So we have 5 key highlights from the paper. Okay, so these are the key highlights. If somebody asks you what that paper talking about, then you have the key highlights from the paper. But I wanted to look on the left, because on the extreme left is where you can always jump into the different sections. So if you want the snapshot, you jump into the snapshot. It also gives you a summary of the objectives of this paper. It gives you the methods that were used in this paper. You see, it also summarizes for you the results. So it gives you results, but in a summary, the main result here, all the results have been summarized for you here. The conclusion has been summarized. Then also, Scholastic also allows you to dig deeper. So you can ask the paper a question. What was the highest value of this recorded, or summarize this in 100 words, or, you can ask it whatever question you want to ask it. Then there's what we call research comparison. And this is a very nice feature. A nice feature is it's good because then it tells you where the paper you are reading, does it confirm previous research and which ones? Does it contrast with previous research and which ones? So like in this case, it confirms one previous research that has been mentioned in this paper, and there is one instance where it differs with previous research, and this is where. On the other hand, as we have seen in the discussion on temporary education, so you see, so this research comparison is for me, is a very nice feature, because then you can now compare where it agrees or where it differs. And you can add up to 3 papers per day and summarize them. If you want unlimited number of papers to summarize per day, then you can summarize. You can always pay the $5, and you will be able to summarize as many papers as you want in a day. So you can, this summary that we have, we can always export it so that we can use it offline. So you can export your summary as a Word document or Excel, this summary that I'm showing you here. So the entire summary will be exported as a Word document, and you can easily read it. But then sometimes you want to read this summary not just as a basic reader. So you can click on this enhance feature and say, okay, I'm not a general reader, I am a researcher. So give me a summary that is complex enough that can be useful to me as a researcher. So that, you see now, then it goes ahead to restructure. It goes ahead now to restructure for you the summary so that you can, as a researcher, you can even benefit more. So the enhanced version, the enhanced feature now allows you to toggle through different summary styles that you want, okay? Then, as I said, you can always export. So you can export as references, you can export as citations, you can export as PowerPoint, Markdown, Word, whatever it is. I think that is the features that I wanted to show you. Then the last tool that I want to show you, even as we now draw to an end, is called Jenny AI. Now, Jenny AI is now a writing tool. So Jenny is a writing tool. And again, as I said, if you have reservations of writing anything using AI, I have no problem. You have the right to have those reservations. Mine is just to expose you to this tool. So Jenny AI is a writing tool. This one is now not a reading tool. This one is now going to help you write. It's like, it looks like, let me just log in. When you create an account, you can also try it for free as well. I'm just going to log in here so that you see what the features it has, and then you can explore it further, or yeah, you can explore it further. Yes. So here I'm just going to this one. Don't worry about this. These ones are things I used to for some other things. So when you come to this platform, even if when you come to this page, even if you are working with the free version, you just click on new. Then we are going a new document. So just click on new document. Then we are going to start the writing. Of course, when you are starting to write, of course, you must give it what to write. So let's say we are writing a paper on the potential of aquaponics in enhancing food security in Africa. So this is what we are writing, enhancing. So we are writing a paper on the potential. Is that how potential is written? Potential. On the potential of aquaponics in enhancing food security in Africa. And then we can decide whether we want to have standard headings or smart headings or no headings at all. I think let's go with standard headings. And then, yeah, we go with standard headings. And then we just start writing. Let me just move something out of the way. Yeah. Then when you click on next, then it will start writing for you. But then you can now also decide there are other settings that you can make down here. So you can now, before you start writing, you can already put certain filters here. So you can filter, because then you can also, I'm going to show you how you can upload. When you download, you can download, let's say 100 or 200 papers, or even 50 papers that you want to use for your writing. You're saying, I don't want to allow Jenny to look for papers by itself. Of course, it has access to so many databases. It can give you very good citations, but If you say that I have 10 or I have 20 very good papers that I want to base my writing on, so I will be writing only from my library. It means you can upload all those papers onto Jenny, and then you have your own library. So this setting allows you either, if you toggle that one off, it means that Jenny is not allowed to get any external sources. It's only allowed to cite from your library only. But if you toggle that on, it means that Jenny now has the leverage to even get citations from external sources that are not from your library. So, that's the setting I was showing you. Then the sources here, you can say within your library, you can like in my case, I have libraries. I have how do you say? I have arranged my library in different ways. So let's say in my library, I wanted to get papers from the specific place called, aquaponics. But then you can also say, I want it to cite papers that are all, because in this case we have allowed it to even cite from external sources. So we want it to cite papers the last 2 years, 5 years, last 10 years, depending on what you want. Then the minimum number of citations you want, impact factor, you can also filter that I only want papers of a specific impact factor and all those things. Then when you click on start writing, I want you to see the difference between Jenny AI and other AI writing tools. The other tools will always just generate text and throw it at you. But Jenny AI allows you to be part of this writing so that you can read through text that has been generated and decide whether it is something you want to accept or not. If you don't want to accept that one, maybe it's not written well, then you can always try again. When you click try again, then it will generate another text until you accept. But let's say we have accepted that one. Once you accept, it's going to generate the next text after some time. So it has generated another text. The good thing with Jenny AI is it allows you to even edit. You see, now we can edit it from here. Okay? So we can remove maybe the continent of Africa. We can just start from Africa faces. Significant, we can even talk about major challenges in achieving food security due to a confluence of factors. So you see, we are already editing this AI-generated text directly. And then when we put the cursor at the end, Jenny AI will generate another text, you see? And so it will keep generating, but then we can also replace, I see it's oversighting this person. We can easily also replace. I will show you how then we can do that. But then it will keep writing. When you keep accepting, it will keep writing, and you just read and edit, because we will finally be able to export it, okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is we can always confirm this citation. So when you hover your cursor over this citation, you can easily just, it gives you the option to go and check. You see, now we have it here. So you can check the narrative. So this one is, you can, when you click on view, then you can now go and check exactly where this citation came from. So it allows you to confirm these citations. Even this one, let's say this one, Kigundu et al., aquaponics, something. Sustainable approach, yeah. So you see like this one? So you can easily just go and view and see, okay, so this is the paper that has been cited, and exactly also how it has been cited. You see, now it gives you an idea of how it has been cited. Okay, so the other thing is we can always also edit these citations. So you can edit a citation here. So you can either change it from here, we can put another one, and just if there's another paper we want to replace, we can just put the DOI of that paper there. We can always cite it. So the good thing is we can always edit these citations, and we can also confirm where they are from. So like in this one, let's say this is the one we want. We will always just come here and view. When you click on view, it will take you to that paper so that you can be able to see where this paper is and confirm what it's talking about. So like in this case, this one is the paper we are talking about. This is the paper that has been cited. So you can easily download the PDF version, take it to the summarizer, and then you get a summary and just confirm whether the citation it's giving is factual or it's just picking its own information. The good thing is we have other tools that can help us confirm that. Now, that is how then you generate all these sections. You will go to your methodology. If you have results, of course, it allows you to put your text here, but it also allows you to insert tables and even figures directly. So like, let's say, and this one is a systematic review because of course we don't have the result. But if you had results, let's say, then you could also be allowed to just put in your tables there. I'll just remove this from the, so you see, you can always insert equations, you can always insert tables, you can always even insert images into your document, and it will help you write. The other thing I was showing was the library. So we have a library on the left here. So you can always upload documents to your library. So you have papers that you have in your computer and you feel, okay, these are the papers that I want to use for my writing. You can always upload them, and then those papers will always be used for citation. So you can create your own library. Then it also has a chat function. So the chat function here in this case is, if you click on the AI chat here, the AI chat will open a window at the bottom right. Then you can now tell it what to do. Now here you can now instruct it. You can tell it now, rewrite the entire rewrite the introduction with a major focus, with a focus on Kenya, or with a focus on climate smart systems, or with a focus on this, or with a focus on this paper. Then you can now, when you put at, then you can now go to your library and tell it the papers you want. You can tag many papers. So it's going to rewrite the entire, the entire introduction based on information from the papers that you are going to show it to use. So when you tag those papers, or you can even upload a paper and tell it, I'm uploading this paper, I want you to rewrite the entire introduction based on the paper that I have uploaded. Then you upload a paper, and then it is going just to pick information from that paper. Now that will stop my demonstration. I think I've also gone over the hour by like 13 minutes. But then if there are questions as we move to a close, then I will be able to pick them. But it does not have to be questions. It could just be comments or any feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nicholas. There's one question for you in the chat. I hope you can see it.
Let me just read through the chat. Okay, good day, everyone. I've just joined the meeting. What is the name of this?
I can read it for you.
If Gen AI writes for me,
that
yes,
one.
I've written that. If Gen AI writes for me, is that allowed academically? If I submit it on Turnitin, would it pick up the AI generated content? The answer is absolutely yes. So again, as I said, if you are at the beginning of this, you know that if you generate content using AI, Turnitin will pick it up. So mine is to tell you, as I said already before, there's nothing like any humanizing tools. If you generate any tool, any content using AI, I want you to sit down with that content and try to make it humanize it. But by just reading it by yourself and trying to change the ideas, or just change the way the writing is done. So yes, the truth is it will be picked up as AI generated. So I think this is now where you are challenged as a researcher now to again sit down with that content and reread it, just make it human and own it, and just digest and understand it. So yes, unfortunately, no, it will be picked up as AI generated. So that's why I was telling you that for Gen AI, you have the leverage of even editing as you write. So it generates content. Before you go to the next paragraph, you can just already start changing the writing there. You can already change it as you write. And that will be okay. Thank you so much, Simon Kahai. People are interested in this. Merci beaucoup. Oh, I know French a little bit. Yes, so this is, we will be presenting even more tools in future, because TCC keeps on partnering with providers of these tools, and just to make your work easier. So anytime there's a new tool, be sure that TCC will be looking out for the developers, and then we'll be working together with them. Yes, there is a recording. The recording will be shared so that you can be able to even go over it again or share with your friends. These things are always shared on the, we will publish them. So it's public information. So you can always share the link with your friends so that you can create a free account on Jenny AI. It's a free, you can create a free account, but then you can write an email to TCC. They will give you, Kevina, maybe if you could share with them, the Justin's email, because then they can reach out to Justin directly and tell them, we attended this meeting. They talked about Jenny AI. I'm interested in knowing more. I'm interested in subscribing. How then do I go about it? We will share the email address, Justin's email address. You can reach directly to him and just tell him you attended this training and you are interested in knowing more, or you are interested in subscribing. That will be great. So yeah, his email has already been shared. So even after this, just directly reach out to him and just tell him that you want to be guided on how then you can subscribe and pay. And you will be able to use GenAI. It's quite some good tool. So if there are no more questions, Kevina, there is a question for you here. Not Kevina, Nicole. I keep calling you Kevina. A certificate, we need a certificate of attendance. You talked about where we can access free articles when talking about dimensions. Can you please repeat? Paywall or something? I didn't get it right. Yes. Just go on to, it's a web browser extension. It's called Unpaywall, Unpaywall. So the word is paywall, but okay, I'll type it here. So you just go, it's a browser extension. It's called Unpaywall. I hope you know what a browser extension is. If you don't know, then ask someone to help you. So this is the browser extension that you need to add to your browser, whichever browser you are using, whether you are using Mozilla or you are using whatever browser you're using, just go to browser extensions and add an paywall as a browser extension. It will help you quite a bit as a researcher. Yes, if there is no any other question, I guess I will return it to Nicole to give us further instructions as we draw to a close.
Thank you, Dr. Nicholas, and thank you for the wonderful presentation. I hope it has been insightful for everyone. In areas that you've had challenges before, I hope that you've now gained clarity and you can go back and try using the solutions again. And we are happy to help you navigate the solutions. So as Dr. Nicholas has said, the recordings will be shared after the session. You will get it via your emails. And for those who wish to join our community, I can share the link to one of our communities right now, though I will also share the link, the links in the email. So let me just get you the link. Can join our WhatsApp community. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And if there's any other further question, I'll leave the meeting room open for the next 2 minutes so that you can pick whatever you need to pick before I close the session. And we will be inviting you for subsequent workshops. And it's a good opportunity to interact with each other and also learn more. And for those who have tried the solutions and are still unsure, you're welcome to join us as many times as possible so that you can learn and understand them better, because our goal as a center is to empower you and support you to the best of our ability. So thank you everyone for joining us and thank you for making time, and do have a lovely day. Thank you.